Long before the sweet scent of baking filled the streets of Manila, the story of the egg pie began in a completely different world. Imagine a cold, stone-walled castle in medieval England, hundreds of years ago. The year is 1390. Inside the bustling royal kitchens of King Richard II, master cooks are frantic. They are preparing a grand feast. In those days, sugar is a luxury as precious as gold, and refrigerators do not exist. Cooked meats are heavy, so the king's bakers are looking for something delicate to grace the royal table. One creative baker looks at a basket of fresh farmhouse eggs and a pitcher of rich cream. He rolls out a simple dough made of flour and lard, shaping it into a rough, open crust. In a heavy metal bowl, he beats the eggs together with the cream, honey, and a pinch of exotic spices like nutmeg and cinnamon. He pours this golden liquid into the pastry shell and slides it into a roaring, wood-fired stone oven. When it emerges, the kitchen fills with a heavenly, comforting aroma. They call this new creation a douce, a sweet custard tart. For centuries, this primitive ancestor of the egg pie remains a treat reserved strictly for kings, queens, and wealthy nobles across Europe. As the centuries roll by, the world begins to change. In the 17th and 18th centuries, wooden ships cross the vast, stormy Atlantic Ocean. European settlers are leaving their homes for the New World, packing their lives into trunks. Along with their clothes and tools, they carry their most prized family recipes tucked away in their minds. Among these recipes is the custard tart. In the colony of America, life is hard, but the love for baking endures. The recipe adapts. It becomes simpler, more rustic, and changes its name to the classic American custard pie. By the late 1800s, it is a staple of American comfort food, a symbol of home, warmth, and family gatherings. But the pie's journey is far from over. It is about to take its biggest leap yet, across the massive expanse of the Pacific Ocean. The year is now 1898. The American colonial period in the Philippines has just begun. Picture the dusty, vibrant streets of Manila in the early 1900s. The tropical heat is intense. American soldiers, teachers, and officials miss the tastes of their homeland. They introduce metal baking ovens, wheat flour, and a revolutionary invention to the islands: canned milk. Because fresh dairy spoils instantly in the Philippine humidity, evaporated and condensed milk become absolute lifelines. Local Filipino bakers, naturally curious and incredibly resourceful, watch these new baking techniques with fascination. They take jobs in American kitchens and military bakeries. They master the art of the flaky pie crust. But Filipinos have a unique palate. They love things sweeter, richer, and distinctly deeply comforting. A local baker in a small Manila neighborhood decides to experiment. He doesn't have access to fresh heavy cream, so he reaches for a can of evaporated milk. He wants the filling to be as luxurious as Leche Flan, the beloved Spanish heritage dessert served at grand fiestas. He separates his eggs, using an abundance of rich, yellow yolks for the custard. He mixes them with the canned milk and sugar, creating a velvety, bright yellow filling. As the story goes, the birth of the definitive Filipino egg pie comes down to a moment of brilliant baking intuition. The baker looks at the leftover egg whites sitting in a bowl. Waste is a sin in a Filipino kitchen. He decides to whip those egg whites until they are frothy and white like sea foam. Right before sliding the pie into the oven, he gently folds a layer of these whipped whites onto the very top of the yellow custard. He pushes the pie into the hot oven and waits. Through the glass, something magical happens. The heavy yellow custard settles at the bottom, creamy and dense. But the light egg whites float to the top. As the intense heat hits them, they don't stay white. They begin to toast, turning a deep, beautiful, speckled dark brown. Almost black in some spots. When the baker pulls the pie out, he panics for a second. Is it burnt? He lets it cool under the whirring of a ceiling fan. He cuts a triangular slice. The contrast is stunning. On the bottom is a flaky, buttery crust. In the middle is a thick, bright yellow, melt-in-your-mouth custard. And on top is that beautiful, paper-thin, toasted brown skin. He takes a bite. The flavor is a masterpiece. It isn't just an American custard pie anymore. It is entirely, undeniably Filipino. Word spreads like wildfire through the barangays of Manila. People line up outside the bakery, holding metal coins, eager to buy a slice of this new egg pie. It becomes the ultimate merienda, the perfect afternoon snack. School children save their allowance to buy a slice after class. Jeepney drivers stop by local panaderias, bakery shops, to grab a piece wrapped in wax paper for a quick burst of energy. It is sweet, filling, and affordable. Decades pass. World War II comes and goes, but the love for the egg pie only grows. In the late 1960s and 70s, iconic commercial bake shops like Goldilocks opened their doors. They standardized the recipe, placing the egg pie in beautiful cardboard boxes and distributing it to every corner of the archipelago. Suddenly, no birthday, family reunion, or Sunday dinner is complete without a whole egg pie sitting proudly on the table. Today, when you walk into a local neighborhood bakery in the Philippines, you will still see it. It sits behind a glass display case, a perfect circle with its signature toasted brown top, waiting to be sliced. It is a dessert born from Roman royalty, carried across the Atlantic by pilgrims, transformed by American technology, and finally perfected by the heart, resourcefulness, and soul of a Filipino baker.